I'm sharing with you how to make the most perfect grilled cheese sandwich you will have ever tasted. This isn't your usual 2 slices of bread with a piece of cheese in the centre, we're taking it to the next level. Welcome to Recipes by Karina, where I share with you how to make classic and simply delicious recipes. Make sure to subscribe for a new video each week. We're going to start off by making a cross between a cheese sauce and a cheese spread, which is going to be 1 part of this grilled cheese. In a small saucepan, melt a 1/4 cup, 55 grams or half a stick of butter. You'll notice I give the recipe amounts in cups and grams, so no matter where you live in the world, this recipe should be easy enough to follow. If you'd like the full recipe for this grilled cheese, it'll be on my website as well as the full measurements listed in the description box below. Next, measure out a 1/4 cup or 30 grams of flour and add this to the saucepan. We're making a roux here, which is a mixture of butter and flour, which will thicken the sauce to a really spreadable consistency. Cook it for a few minutes, stirring continuously to remove the floury taste. We don't want to brown it, so keep your heat to a medium-low. This may seem like a bit of work for a simple grilled cheese, but trust me, it is worth it. This is a great thing to make as a side dish for soup, add some other fillings for a more substantial sandwich, or of course it is perfect all on its own. The cheese sauce will keep in the fridge for a few days, so you can easily make a little more than you will need, so it only takes a few minutes next time. Measure out a cup of milk and start to slowly add it to the roux, about 1/4 of it at a time. As soon as you pour some in, the butter and flour mixture will dry right out. Just continue stirring until everything is evenly combined. Keep your heat low here as it is really easy to burn. Add the next lot of milk and continue to stir. Doing a small amount at a time is your best bet at getting a creamy sauce with no lumps. With each lot of milk you add, the sauce will start to thin out. We're after quite a thick consistency, so don't worry if you think you need more milk. Once all the milk has been incorporated, turn off the heat and set the sauce to the side while we prep the cheese. This is where you can pick and choose what kinds of cheese you want to incorporate. I usually will go for whatever kinds I have on hand, but a good balance is cheddar for flavour and mozzarella for the stringy, cheesy texture. You'll need 3/4 of a cup of cheese for the sauce, plus extra for the sandwich. I would recommend grating your own cheese rather than using pre-grated if you can, as it melts so much better. Pre-grated cheese is usually coated in starch to stop it clumping together, but this causes it to melt really oddly. Today I'm using a 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese and half a cup of grated cheddar, and saving the mozzarella to slice up later. The sauce should still be quite hot for the cheese to melt, but if it's cooled down too much, heat it over low heat while you add the cheese. Really make sure it's low heat, as scalding the sauce is a really quick way for it to break, meaning the fats, protein and water separates, leading to a very curdled, textured sauce that we don't want. Add your cheese in 2 stages, waiting for the first lot of cheese to completely melt before adding the second lot. It should incorporate into a thick, creamy and cheesy sauce. To the cheese sauce, you could also add other flavourings. I'm skipping giving you measurements or telling you what to add here, as it really depends on what cheeses you've picked. You can season with salt and pepper, but I find it doesn't really need any with the Parmesan. You could also add bacon pieces, spice it up with some jalapenos, or add some mustard for flavour. Once all the cheese has been incorporated and your sauce is smooth, set it to the side while we prep the bread. You can use any type of bread you would like here, but something crusty is your best bet, like sourdough rather than standard white pre-sliced loaf. It's just a way to make the sandwich a little more delicious. Cut 2 slices from the middle of your loaf. You don't want them to be too thick or else the heat won't be able to get to the cheese, but not too thin that you miss out on the crunch of the bread. About a few centimeters or half an inch is a great starting place. Now comes something you might not have done before, but trust me on it. We're going to add mayonnaise on the bread slices to crisp them up rather than butter. Butter works great, but mayonnaise works even better. If you think about it, mayonnaise is made up of eggs and oil, both of which is usually used to make things brown better, and combined they work so well. Add a few teaspoons worth of mayonnaise or garlic mayonnaise as I'm using here for a little extra flavour to the bread. Spread it out evenly to the edges and place the bread slices in a pan over medium to low heat. I'm using a cast iron pan as it provides the best browning and even heat, but any fry pan you have will work great. We're going to crisp up both sides of the bread for the best texture, so it should only take 2 to 3 minutes. Check every minute or so to make sure the bread isn't getting too dark and adjust the heat. Remove the bread from the pan and place your slices of bread toasted side down on a chopping board. Spread the other side with the mayonnaise, about a few teaspoons on each slice, and flip over. I'm just making one sandwich here, but of course you could make as many as you would like. There will be enough cheese sauce for about 5 to 6 sandwiches, but it depends on how big you make them. The sauce will also keep in the fridge for at least 3 days or so, and it can easily be reheated and used for grilled cheeses later in the week. Next, you're going to take the cheesy, saucy spread, it should be a lot thicker by this point having cooled down, and add a good few spoonfuls worth to each slice of bread. Make sure your toasted side is facing up here, so it will be on the inside of the sandwich. Using a knife or something similar, spread the cheese sauce right to the edges in an even layer. It should be thick enough here to keep its shape and not leak out the sides until it starts to melt. Lastly, we're going to top with a few slices of cheese. I like to go for mozzarella here, but of course it is completely up to you. You can use the same type of cheese you used in the sauce. What we're trying to do here is basically add a few more textures, so even the same type of cheese, it'll have a completely different taste and texture than the sauce. Top the cheese slices with the other slice of bread that is covered in the cheese sauce and return the sandwich to the pan. It'll need about 4 to 5 minutes on each side over a medium-low heat, so remember to just keep checking to make sure it isn't burning. Flip to the other side and cook until the cheese is starting to ooze out and the bread has crisped up. Let the sandwich rest for a few minutes before slicing and enjoying. This goes perfectly with a hot bowl of your favourite soup, or it is so good on its own. Let me know if you're going to give this recipe a go. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.